Good evening, class. My name is Meryl Between, and I will be discussing women versus men's advertisements. Ads are everywhere. We bound to see them because of how companies market them to customers. They come in various forms, starting from videos on YouTube, commercials on TV, radios, or magazines. As we consumers come through these ads through various kinds of marketing, there is a sense of stigma we all feel whenever companies try to persuade us, especially if we look at magazines at a nearby bookstore such as Barnes and Noble. In the male section, magazines tend to display images and texts that revolve with the secrets to a ripped body, whereas in the women's section, magazines display the secrets to a clear and flawless skin. For the past weeks, I've been studying and looking over at different ads that pop out to the two common genders, male and female. From research and data I've collected and obtained, marketing products are involved with a pattern of gender norms. Before we dive deep, I would like to talk about the differences between sex and gender. Sex is a biological concept where it is a primary sex characteristics, including female, male, or intersex. It is based on anatomy such as chromosomes, hormones, or reproductive organs. Gender, on the other hand, is how an individual identifies themselves. It could be meanings, characteristics, or values. This can include man, woman, or non-binary. It is based on social, such as history, politics, or socialization. Gender is seen as a binary construct. There are two opposing and mutually exclusive categories. First one is feminine and second one is masculine. Both focuses on differences, not similarities, and because of that, it tends to affect life changes. The first one I would like to talk about is hegemonic masculinities. This is a cultural ideal for manliest man, and it is highly valued. It still tends to live in the male-dominant society. Second one is emphasize femininity. It is ideal for womanliest women. It's compliance with needs of men. So the society tends to portray or see women as the ones that are dependent on men, where they rely a lot on them. And the idea of binary construct has created gender norms. You guys are probably wondering, what is gender norms? Gender norms are social principles that govern attitudes, behaviors, or actions of both genders. This leads to the idea of gender roles in society. And gender norms are constructed and enacted where they are behaviors, attitudes, or actions that the society feels appropriate for male and female. It is based on different expectations that groups or individuals have for an individual based on their sex and based on society's values about gender. You guys are probably wondering, where did this come from? Let me talk to you about the history of traditional Western societies. Traditional Western societies believe that women are more nurturing than men. From the traditional view on feminine gender role, they suggest that they should act as nurturing and as caretakers of the family. They tend to be seen as the ones to take care of their children, clean the house, do laundry, also cook at home as well. And because women tend to be seen as caretakers and nurturing, they spend majority of their time at home rather than working outside of home. Men, on the other side, are perceived as leaders. From the traditional view on masculine gender roles, it is suggested that they are the heads of the household, where they provide financially and make decisions. Because of that, they are seen as dominant. So, Marketing Weekly has done a survey based off of women's representation, and the question was, do you think women are represented more positively or negatively in advertising now compared to 5 years ago? Or is there no change? And based off of this chart that I've collected, it has shown that there has been an increase of representation of women within the past 5 years. On this chart, you can see that red represents female and then blue represents male. From the advertisements I've collected, ads tend to focus more on masculinity and femininity due to the binary construct of female and male. What I learned from the chart and graph from Market Weekly, change can occur. Despite the existing values and beliefs from the traditional Western society, it is evident that change and the increase of diversity is occurring. Today's generation is more accepting than the previous. There are more sources in today's society that weren't as accessible back then. I believe that change is inevitable. And thank you guys for listening to my talk.